What's going on? It's Ray. I'm coming at you from my private vacation home, which may or may not be my parents' home. So I'm just kicking it here, working on having fun with my parents, working on just hanging out, being there. The more people, the better vibes you can get, the more you can bring other people up and not let them get down. Today I was going to talk about staying out of trouble and basically not making things worse is such a huge part of why I do have this vacation home slash my parents' home. Basically, what I found out is the old idle hands is the devil's playground, or as I like to call it, idle's hands finds a bag of Funyuns or Doritos and goes into my mouth, because a lot of people tend to gamble, drink alcohol when bored, just basically do destructive things and not constructive things. And this applies to so much of life, is to, when you're bored or you find there's a lull in life, you have to take the opportunity to say there's a holiness and there's a greatness in just doing things that are ordinary. Keeping up good habits while you're bored, while you don't feel good, while you're tired, has benefits that you don't even realize. And I first saw this when I was dating and I was young, is girls tend to like me, but then I would get bored and just start saying random stuff like I always do, and I kept on messing it up. And I found out, less is more often with interactions, and you should not be talking when you're bored, and you should not be, it's called trolling now, but you should not troll for reactions just because you're bored. And if you're at work, if you're bored, you're more susceptible to get arguments or have your ego come up with stuff that's not true. A lot of times businesses are successful. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to do what successful people do. And you have to humble yourself to say, I don't have to do the work by reinventing the way this work is done. All I have to do is do the same work that's successful people. And I see a lot of older people like my dad, Raymond, other people in my life, and I don't have to break the mold and add my own stamp on success. All I have to do is do the same actions they do. And in the end, I'm very, very lazy. And I realize that I don't have to put in the brain power to come up with an innovative new idea to be successful. I just have to do simple tasks and create and not deconstruct, and just, let, go with the flow, a lot of it. But I find a lot of times people are on dates and people are like, why don't girls like me? And I'm like, because you're giving them reasons not to like you. They'll find out why. If you're a young man and you're on a date, you will find out very quickly that the more you talk, the more you give a reason to get into a girl's mind to say, I don't like this guy, he talks too much, or whatever. So less is more. I'd like to wish everyone a happy holidays out there. I say happy holidays, not Merry Christmas, because I do have a large Jewish following on my Facebook photos, so whatever the saying is for happy holidays in Jewish, you can go ahead and Google it and say it to yourself and just pretend that I said it to you. So basically, to wrap it up in a bow, tell yourself, when you're bored and you find ways to be productive, or at least if you're bored and you have a lull in your day or a lull in your life, and you just find ways not to make it worse. Don't eat junk food. Don't get into arguments. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do. And that becomes a mantra for a lot of people. Don't make situations worse. And a lot of times if people are unsuccessful, that's where they started. For the further you progress, you learn to take it the boredom and say the boredom and the lulls in life, and you get to kind of stop and say, thank you God, thank you the universe, or thank you my life for this opportunity to get better. And I'm going to use this time to get better and read a book, talk to somebody, cultivate people skills. And a lot of that is people skills. I see a lot of people isolating this time of year, and this time of year is a great opportunity to, practice giving compliments. I'm always giving compliments just because I need to work on them. And the other day, I gave a girl a compliment on their hair, and I was able to find out who her hairdresser was and pass that note on to somebody else who was looking for a hairdresser. So always look out for giving people compliments. Look for people's interesting hair, or their nails are done, or they have nice glasses. You never know what kind of information you can learn from people by giving compliments. So that comes with, also ties in with, hey, I'm bored, what can I do in this situation? Go out to Target, go out to Dollar Tree, start talking to people, ask them where you got these glasses, I like these, and you don't even have to lie. Like, they may be cool glasses, or it may be a cool haircut or whatever, and you can keep your people skills up, and you can find out more, and then you can share that information, because knowledge is power, the more you know. So, and then you can, work on your people skills. But yeah, the holiness of ordinary. Basically, most of your life is just made up of habits. So that's why it's important, if you can't get to the gym, at least drive to the parking lot of the gym. If you can't get to work, at least drive to the parking lot of work and at least try to make it, or go as far as you can go. And then don't beat yourself up to it if you can't go through the day, because, there was a story about a trainer that used to say 80% of your workouts are going to be okay. They're just going to go as normal. There's 10% where it's going to be awesome, and you have to push yourself when you feel awesome and just explore your greatness in that 10%. And then there's going to be a 10% where you're just going to be fighting through the day. And what you have to do when the day is not going good is just get through your day the best you can, and then don't beat yourself up. Don't waste energy by beating yourself up. And then, so much of life is just keeping up the habits. You don't have to brush your teeth great and get all the teeth, but at least brush your teeth 2 times a day. You don't have to floss great, but at least practice the habit of flossing every day, and soon it'll be automatic. There's a lot of things in my life that are automatic. I'm going to get my oil changed automatically. I don't know why I do it. I don't know what's the deal, but like, sometimes my oil light will come on for my 6 months, and I'll be all nervous. When am I going to have time? But somehow I just go, oh, and I just get to I just get it done. And it's because at one point in time, I probably didn't change the oil in my Ford Tempo, and it blew up, and I got fired from Long John Silver's, and I cried over it. And I learned that lesson, and now my body and my psyche automatically goes there and does it. But if you get a chance, I definitely check out The Holiness of Ordinary, and you'll learn how the ordinary things are what successful people do, and they find ways to make the tedious things in life fun, so that you keep the habits up, and they're able to grind and build that skill. And of course, I always think about skill all the time, because talent's cool to have, but skill you really have to work for, and it takes hours and hours and hours of grinding. And so my skills are basically, I always try to work with people better, and I always have to try to understand the flow of conversations. Like, if I can see a conversation's dying, I can always add a funny joke to try to get it up. Or if somebody cuts off a thread in a conversation and it needs a boost, I'm able to do something physically to make somebody laugh, or just get some energy into the whole interaction. And so I've been able to study a lot about, social interaction and everything. But this video went on a weird tangent. It's a vacation tangent, that's okay. I'll go right back to what I want to go hammer home, though. Staying out of trouble is so important. I remember Jay-Z talking about, all my homies are in jail, all my homies, or, they're stuck in the legal system, and they don't have time to cultivate their rapping skills. They don't have time to get educated. They don't have time to make money because they're spending all their time in jail. So that's how you can be successful, by staying out of trouble. Quote Jay-Z or 50 Cent or whoever said that. So, staying out of trouble, not making things work. Staying out of trouble, not making things work is very, very important. Staying out of trouble, not making things worse, can help you be successful. Take the time to realize when you didn't make things worse, to give yourself a pat on the back and say, I didn't make things worse, and I didn't make things unbearable for others. And that is a lot of what success is in life. Thanks for watching.